Good morning, yogis, and welcome from my home to yours. For our practice today, we'll begin lying on our backs. So making your way down onto your mat, and maybe the feet come to the outer edges of your mat, toes to fall out towards the sides, and maybe the arms come alongside the body, palms facing up. Or for more grounding, having the palms rest on top of the belly. And we'll just begin to arrive here in this space. And observing any noises happening around you. And can you begin to tune them out? Observing any physical sensations in the body. Maybe that's numbness or tingling. Any areas of tension and any areas of ease. I invite you for our practice today to move in a way that supports your body as you are here in this space. And just beginning to notice your breath. Are you breathing in through the nose or the mouth? And on your next inhale, begin to trace your breath, maybe feeling the chest, the ribs and the belly begin to expand. And on your exhale, the navel draws in towards the spine, and the ribs begin to knit together. And just noticing all the parts of the body that move and expand on your inhale. And all the parts of your body that contract on your exhale. I invite you for our practice today to move at your own natural rhythm and pace. We'll begin to arrive in our body, maybe wiggling the toes, circling out the ankles, maybe wiggling the fingers and circling out the wrists. Option to gently nod the head from side to side. And then we're going to plant both our feet down onto our mat. Palms can come to rest back on top of the belly. And the heels will walk in towards your sit bones. Imagine that you could graze the backs of the heels with the tips of the fingers, and it's okay if they don't. And the feet will be about hip distance apart, which is usually 2 fists stacked together between the feet. But just imagining what that's like, not checking if everything aligns perfectly. And on your next inhale, drop the left knee in towards the chest. And option 2, catch for behind the thigh or the top of the shin, whichever is more accessible today. And interlace the fingers there. Maybe begin to feel some length from the tailbone to the crown of the head. And even gently tucking the chin in towards the chest, lengthening out through our cervical spine. And just observing any sensations coming up through our body. And option, if it feels comfortable, to extend the right heel to the top of your mat. So the back of the heel roots down onto the mat, and then feel the back of the knee rooting down. On an inhale, feel the belly expand towards your left thigh. And on the exhale, maybe the knee draws in just a little bit closer. Option here to also use a strap or a belt that you can loop behind the thigh so that the palms can draw the knee closer in towards the body if you find that the fingers are grasping for the leg. And our shoulders and back of the neck relax here. And option, if it feels comfortable today, the left knee will draw towards the left side of your mat and then drawing it up towards the armpit. The right palm can come to rest on top of the right hip to keep it rooted down. And just allowing our body to work with gravity here. Maybe you find a gentle rock back and forth of the knee in towards center and then back out towards the side of your mat. Just finding a little bit of movement or maybe some stillness, whichever feels most comfortable in your body today. Next inhale, the left knee will come back in towards the chest and then we're planting the left sole of the foot down onto the mat. On an inhale, draw the right knee in towards the chest and either interlacing the fingers behind the thigh or the top of the shin. And then take a moment here, maybe retucking our chin in towards the chest, feeling that length through our spine and the shoulder blades relax. Maybe this is where we stay. And if it feels comfortable, maybe the left heel extends all the way to the top of your mat, rooting through the back of the heel, back of the knee. Inhale for the belly to expand towards your right thigh. And exhale, maybe it draws in just a little bit closer. Observing if this side feels a little different than the other, and maybe it does and maybe it doesn't, and that's okay. And then option, if it feels comfortable in the body, the right knee can draw over towards the right side of the mat, left palm can come to rest on top of the left hip, keeping it rooted down. And then if it feels comfortable, maybe we find that movement, rocking the knee in, and then over towards the right side. Next inhale, the right knee will come back in, and this time we're hugging our left knee in to meet the right. And the palms of the hands will come behind the thighs. If it feels comfortable today, we can rock along the spine up into a cross-legged seat. If not, rocking onto your side and using the arms to support you up. We'll meet at the top of our mats, taking our time to arrive. Maybe it feels really great to rock along the spine. And when we arrive at the top of our mat, we'll root through our sit bones, stacking our pelvis with our ribs and then softening the shoulders away from the ears. Palms can rest on top of the knees or the thighs. Taking an inhale, feeling some length through the spine. And on the exhale, as the navel draws in. And then on an inhale, the arms will reach out and up towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, palms together at heart center. One more, inhaling out and up. And exhaling down. Next inhale, we're going to find a cactus arm, so bending 90 degrees from the elbows to the shoulders. Taking an inhale, maybe the chin and chest begin to lift, shoulder blades draw together. And on the exhale, round through the spine, draw the shoulder blades away from one another, and maybe the elbows come to touch, palms to touch. Rounding through the spine. Inhale to open the chest, open the heart. And then exhale to draw in. 3 more at your own rhythm and pace. Maybe this is really slow. Maybe this is really fast. And on your last one, inhale, the arms will open, but come into a neutral spine. This time we'll take an inhale, finding some length through the spine. And on the exhale, begin to gaze over towards your left. So moving with just the upper chest, we're finding a little bit of a twist here. And keeping the chin in line with our chest. Navel draws in towards the spine and still feeling that length. Maybe observing your breath here. And then inhale, we'll come back through to center. And then exhaling over towards our right. Chin in line with the chest. Still feeling our breath. Inhale to come back through to center, reach the arms up. And on our exhale, the palms will plant in front of the body, fingers spread wide, rooting through the knuckle pads of the fingers. We're going to stack our wrists with our shoulders, and then knees come underneath the hips, so finding our first tabletop position. And if your wrists are feeling sensitive today, you can bring the palms into fists, or coming down onto the forearms. If the knees are feeling sensitive, bringing either a blanket or a pillow underneath, or you can keep the toes tucked underneath. So just checking in here. Taking an inhale and an exhale. We're going to step our left foot between the palms of the hands. Maybe we walk the foot up so that we can stack the ankle with the knee. And on the inhale, reach the arms up. And then checking in here if we're feeling a little wobbly, keeping the toes tucked underneath for a little more balance. And then feel as though you're drawing the right hip towards the front of the room as the left hip draws back in. And depending on how our arms are feeling today, we can keep the hands on the hips, maybe hands at heart center. And then option to take the left index finger and thumb around the right wrist, gently guiding it up and overhead, feeling a stretch through the right side of the body. Taking 3 rounds of breath here. And then inhale, the arms will come back up. Palms will plant down onto the mat, framing your left foot. And then maybe you walk the right knee just a little bit farther back. And then take the left palm, tracing the left shin as the arm reaches up towards the sky, finding a little bit of a twist. Taking an inhale and an exhale. One more inhale and exhale. And then the left palm will come back down to the mat, and we'll step our left foot back underneath the hip. So left knee to stack under. Take a moment here to reset. Take an inhale and an exhale. And then we'll inhale, finding that neutral spine. And then exhale, step the right foot in between the palms of the hands. Inhale, arms reach up. And then just checking in here, where is the most comfortable for our palms? Are we keeping them on the hips, maybe at heart center? Maybe reaching up. And then option to keep the back toes tucked underneath for more balance. And second option, right index finger and thumb will wrap around the left wrist as we guide the left wrist up and overhead, finding that stretch through the left side of the body. And our left hip intends towards the top of our mat as the right hip draws back in. Taking 3 inhales and exhales. And then inhale, arms to reach back up. And exhale, palms will plant down. Maybe walking the left knee back just a little bit here. And then on an inhale, the right palm traces the right shin as we reach the arm up towards the sky. Maybe the right foot walks out a little bit, keeping some space to the hips. And we can keep our gaze down towards the mat or up towards the sky, taking an inhale. And then exhale. Just observing our breath here. And then the right palm will come back down to plant onto the mat, stepping our right foot back, right knee underneath the hip, taking an inhale. And this time the big toe mounds will come together, knees as wide as it feels comfortable in the body, and we'll bring our sit bones back towards the heels. And the forehead can come to rest down onto the mat and maybe walking the palms forward. If you have some blocks, you can bring a block underneath the forehead or underneath the sit bones. If not, you can bring a pillow underneath or a bolster. And option, if this is a lot on the arms, you can also stack the palms on top of one another into fists to rest the forehead down, giving some space, some length here for the body. And then inhaling and exhaling. And then we'll walk the palms in towards the body, bring the knees together, and then shift the legs in front of the body. And then we'll plant the soles of the feet down onto the mat, bending through the knees, and coming back down to lie on our backs. And the palms can rest on top of the belly, and we'll heel toe the feet as wide as our mat, knocking the knees from side to side. Just observing any sensations coming up through the inner and outer hips. And then we'll bring the knees to knock in towards one another, keeping the feet wider than hip distance. Maybe gently tucking the chin in towards the chest. And just coming back to our breath. Tracing your inhales and your exhales. Maybe closing down the eyes or softening the gaze. And observing any sensations through the body. Spending as much time as you'd like here. Thank you so much for joining me in practice today. It was an honor to guide you, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.